Walk into any state-of-the-art automotive manufacturing plant right now. Look past the flying sparks, the deafening mechanical roar, and the colossal robotic arms moving in terrifyingly perfect synchronization. If you walk up to the main control panel of a $50 million stamping press, the exact kind of mechanical titan responsible for violently molding the aerodynamic steel hoods of iconic sports cars like the Mustang or the Supra, you will notice something deeply disturbing. The machine is practically asleep. The digital display, hidden away from the corporate tours and the boardroom cameras, will almost never read 100% capacity. It is usually locked at 80, maybe 85% at the absolute most. Simple financial logic dictates that if a company spends tens of millions of dollars on a piece of heavy machinery, that equipment needs to run at its absolute maximum capacity at all times to justify the massive investment. Executives want maximum output, maximum profit, and maximum speed. But the reality on the factory floor is a heavily guarded secret. The maximum speed printed in the glossy manual of the machine is nothing but a corporate marketing illusion, and trying to actually reach it is a direct shortcut to total, catastrophic destruction. If you are enjoying our channel, subscribe and turn on the little bell so you don't miss any content. It helps us a lot and it's free. You see, there is a brutal reality that no one tells you about the physics of heavy industry. It is a silent, invisible killer, known among veteran floor engineers as exponential wear. When a global manufacturer sells a colossal piece of industrial equipment, they advertise its absolute theoretical limit. They test it in a pristine, temperature-controlled laboratory environment for a few hours, hit the absolute red line, and print that staggering number on the sales brochure to close the deal. But the real factory floor is not a sterile laboratory. When you take a multi-ton machine from 80% to 100% of its operational speed, the physical wear and tear does not simply increase by a proportional 20%. It multiplies. It compounds violently and aggressively. Let me explain exactly how this hidden phenomenon works behind the closed doors of the manufacturing world. When colossal steel gears and massive hydraulic presses operate at their absolute limit, they generate an invisible force called harmonic vibration. This is not the normal everyday shaking you feel when standing near heavy equipment. This is a microscopic, highly resonant frequency that travels deep inside the metal framework of the machine itself. At 80% capacity, the machine's natural dampeners and massive cast iron base can absorb this kinetic energy safely. But the exact moment the dial crosses into the red zone, the frequency aligns perfectly with the structural resonance of the steel itself. The metal literally begins to sing a frequency of pure destruction. Microscopic fissures, entirely invisible to the naked eye of the operator, start spiderwebbing through the internal drive shafts and load-bearing pillars. Then, you have to add extreme thermal fatigue to this deadly equation. The microscopic friction generated at full speed creates isolated pockets of intense heat that the internal cooling systems simply cannot reach in time. The heavy industrial lubrication completely breaks down under this immense shear stress, turning from a slick, highly engineered protective layer into a useless, scorching sludge. The internal temperature spikes, the metal expands beyond its microscopic tolerances, and parts that are supposed to glide past each other begin to grind, tear, and weld together in real time. This terrifying physical reality creates a highly toxic workplace dynamic. A literal Cold War is happening right now in factories across the globe, hidden completely from the public eye. On one side, you have the corporate executives and upper management, sitting in quiet, air-conditioned offices miles away, staring blindly at quarterly production spreadsheets. They see a machine rated to produce 1,000 stamped parts an hour, currently producing only 800, and they demand immediate answers. They push for the red line to hit their bonus targets. On the other side, you have the maintenance engineers and the line operators, the men and women who actually understand the violent, unforgiving nature of the equipment they stand next to every single day. They know the dark truth. They know that if they follow the executive orders and push that digital dial to 100%, the machine will not just simply break down and stop. It will violently tear itself apart under the immense pressure, potentially launching incandescent metal shrapnel across the factory floor and putting everyone's life in immediate danger. Faced with a machine that defies physics but ruins the tracks, what would you have done in the place of these engineers? Leave me your opinion in the comments, because the decision they made next would change everything. The operators and engineers on the floor are trapped in an impossible situation. If they refuse to increase the speed, they get fired for insubordination and failing to meet the newly inflated corporate quotas. If they increase the speed, The multi-million-dollar machine destroys itself, people get hurt, and they get fired anyway for gross negligence. So, how do they survive this relentless pressure? They resort to something strictly forbidden: industrial sabotage for the greater good. This is the deepest secret of the modern manufacturing world. To protect the machinery, to protect their jobs, and to protect their own lives, veteran engineers lie to the system. They physically and digitally alter the equipment. During routine midnight maintenance shifts, senior technicians will quietly install hidden mechanical governors inside the pneumatic systems, tiny, untraceable restrictor plates that physically prevent the valves from fully opening, no matter how hard the system pushes. But the real magic happens in the software. Modern machines are controlled by programmable logic controllers, complex industrial computers that monitor every single movement. Highly skilled floor engineers will deliberately rewrite the monitoring code. They recalibrate the digital displays so that when the machine is physically running at a safe, sustainable 82%, the dashboard in the manager's office brightly displays a perfect, highly efficient 100%. The executives get to see the beautiful green numbers on their monitors and collect their quarterly performance bonuses. Meanwhile, the operators get to keep the machine from melting down into a pile of useless slag. It is a brilliant, highly illegal illusion born out of absolute necessity. But why is this extreme level of deception so necessary? Because the people on the floor understand a mathematical concept that corporate management consistently ignores: the catastrophic downtime metric. This is the ultimate, undeniable proof that running at full speed is a financial death sentence. Let's look at the real numbers. If you force a machine to run 20% faster, you might gain a few thousand extra parts over the course of a month. But by running in the red zone, you guarantee a major mechanical failure. When a main drive shaft snaps under harmonic stress, the entire production line does not just stop for a coffee break, it stops for days. In the high-stakes world of modern automotive manufacturing, a dead assembly line can cost a company upwards of $30,000 per minute. Let me repeat that. $30,000 every single minute the line is frozen. The logistics chain collapses. Hundreds of workers stand around doing nothing. The raw materials pile up, and the delivery contracts are breached. The catastrophic financial cost of just 4 hours of total mechanical failure completely wipes out an entire year of the extra profit generated by running the machine at maximum speed. The math is brutal, and it is absolute. The true secret of the world's most profitable and long-lasting industrial empires is that true efficiency has never been about the explosive speed of a sprint. It is entirely about the relentless, unbroken consistency of a marathon. Complex mechanical systems, no matter how advanced or expensive, possess absolute physical limits that human greed simply cannot revoke. The illusion of the 100% capacity was created purely to impress investors who do not understand the terrifying true cost of metal violently tearing through metal. The next time you see a flawless product roll off an assembly line, remember the silent rebellion happening behind the scenes. Remember the unseen workers who artificially throttled the immense power of these modern titans, keeping the delicate balance between maximum profit and total industrial devastation.